What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Loot Chess on Tasty Loot Gaming, the show where we talk about a random topic in gaming. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Kris.
And on this episode, as you guys know, we're post E3. E3 happened. A lot of things were announced. A lot of things were shown. But we're going to be talking about, first off, our biggest surprise of E3, the thing that we weren't really expecting or maybe heard about, but it actually got confirmed. And then we're going to be talking about our two favorite things out of everything that was announced and talk about why we really liked them. Why don't you go ahead and start, Chevy?
We're doing biggest surprise
Biggest
first?
surprise first.
Okay. I'm going to save one because I think it's on your guys' list as well.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with God of War 4.
Okay.
I kind of had an idea that they were making a God of War, but I didn't realize they were so far into development at this point. And it was really nice that as soon as the conference started, they opened the curtain, no talking, immediately into the trailer. I was just like, holy crap, it looks so much better than it ever used to. It even it looks like it plays slightly different, though.
Well, it's an over-the-shoulder third-person shooter now.
But the action still seems very familiar, which is great. And just a little side note real quick. Everything that was a Sony exclusive title was so polished looking, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So it was a really good E3.
I'm going to piggyback on you real quick and say that my two biggest surprises, since it's two, was God of War and Zelda not looking like shit. That fucking blew my mind, right? Zelda has been the same thing over and over and over again forever, and finally we're getting this open world fantasy game that has all this stuff to offer, and it looks great graphically, it looks really fun, I can't wait for it. And then God of War, a series I fucking hate because it's just this big buff dude who's pissed off. He just mash buttons and murder everything in sight, and he's fuck bitches.
Don't forget, I was gonna say, don't forget the sex game.
Just wrecking girls constantly and wrecking people. And I was like, this game's stupid. And then what did we get? We got a new God of War. I didn't even watch the fucking trailer when I first saw it because I was like, I'm not gonna like this. And I was like, I should probably know about it if we're gonna talk about it. Watched it. I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? This is God of War. The only thing that's the same is the guy's the same paint job.
Yeah.
But other than that, it almost has a Last of Us vibe to it. It's very narrative driven. I like the connection between him and his son, and the combat almost reminds me of Dark Souls.
There's really subtle things that happen in there too, as I was pointing out when I was showing him the video, was when the son initially screws up while they're hunting, and he grabs and he starts talking to him in the top left. It shows his rage bar and it starts to fill.
Oh, really?
As he's yelling at him, and then he stops and he calms himself down. You see the rage bar come back down.
Reminds me of Metal Gear Solid 4.
It's pretty, and it's just a really neat little touch because it's still a video
I
game.
didn't even notice that.
So,
yeah, I just really like their dialogue. They're dynamic. I really like that he's training this kid, but he's this hardcore Norse warrior, and he's trying to make the kid grow up like him, but he's still a kid.
Yeah.
And like I said, give me a Last of Us vibe just because of the adult who knows how things are versus the kid who needs to know how things are.
Yeah.
And it looks awesome. I want to fucking pick it up. What did you think of it?
I actually really liked it, and I don't really care too much for God of War games. I got a very strong feeling of Skyrim thrown into the God of War just pasted into a Skyrim game,
sure,
but more polished. It looks very neat and very clean, and it's, I don't know, you can tell though it's a God of War game not only just because Kratos, the way he looks, but the way he moves. His actions have a very God of War motion to them.
Yeah. And the combat is bloody, visceral, and when he's fighting that boss,
But it's not over the top though.
which I like. Yeah, it was more gritty and realistic versus him just ripping some dude's head off and the strands of his neck.
Less comic book.
Yeah, it's just. This is when Naughty Dog went from making Uncharted, which is a fun adventure game, to making this gritty, mature game, Last of Us. This is them going from this game for 12-year-olds, God of War, to an adult's game, and it looks really fucking cool. Now I already said my surprises. What did you guys think about? Essentially, we already knew Zelda's coming out. We saw a little bit, but the showing. What did you guys think of that? I'm
with you. I periodically like Zelda games, but I'm not a huge fan because it is a lot like, it's gonna sound like a weird example, but sports games. It's the same thing every single time. So if you skip a few and you actually get to play one, you get more of those new features. This looks like a whole new game, which is awesome. It's like you said, stunning to look at, especially they're showing limitations of a limited console anyways versus like what's out there, and it still looks great.
Yeah, this would be at home on any console.
Yeah. They took a lot of notes from a lot of other like types of games too in this, but it still looks like a Zelda game, so it looks cool.
Thoughts?
I'm just excited to actually have a Zelda game where I don't have to follow direct storyline completely all the way through. I can kind of go about and just explore, find things as I see fit. Even though there's like storyline, of course, it's a Zelda game, there's always story.
Yep.
But I can take my time. I'm not like, oh, I can't go here because I'm missing this hook shot, which is only available if I follow the storyline this way. And it does look gorgeous.
It's almost like they're taking a note from Metal Gear Solid 5 in that, because in Metal Gear Solid 5 it's an open world game, but there are the quests for the storyline, which, I have my opinions on with that game. It's a different topic, but I think it'll benefit this game because Zelda always had like this feeling of adventure and like finding something that will help you in other areas later or going back, and I feel like it'll really benefit an open world game. But yeah, biggest surprise of E3 for you?
Dead Rising 4.
Really?
Actually surprised me the most. I thought they were done.
Yeah, I thought they were too.
I thought they were absolutely done.
Neither of you said the one I reserved. Weird. Go ahead.
I think that's saved for later.
Yeah.
I actually really like the Dead Rising games. I mean, there's not much really story behind them. You're just kind of... It's like Dynasty Warriors, but with zombies. And I really like those games.
I never thought about it like that before. It definitely
just
is.
not as like flashy. It's more gritty and...
I really liked the first one. I really liked the second one. I played the third one, and I liked the tone better because they got away from the craziness. But I almost feel like Dead Rising needs that because of how just insane the killing of like hundreds of zombies is, like just mowing through them. So, what do you think about the return of Frank West?
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, I don't know what exactly he's going to be doing, or how far in the story, like time-wise ahead, if it's going to leap ahead at all or anything. But I mean, he's a journalist. He's got to have some interesting story.
I'll say in the trailer, he's just on Twitter the whole time.
So.
Yeah.
If this virus has spread out beyond just these cities, it seems to. If it's going to be bigger, more open, or if it's... I mean, I doubt it. It's probably going to be more contained again to a smaller area.
If they're going to up the ante on the amount of zombies on screen at once.
Yeah.
Because, like, all the games, they just get higher and higher, and there's just seas of zombies. And at this point, I don't really think they could do a whole lot more, but it'd be really interesting to see what they can do to advance Dead Rising's formula that's pretty much the same in all the games. And I mean that in the best way possible. That's the game.
It's entertaining.
Yeah. It was kind of surprising because when I watched E3 or watched stuff on E3, wasn't expecting a Dead Rising 4. Yeah. I mean, I'm not like, it's not crazy to me, but at the same time, like I was like, oh shit, they're making Dead Rising 4. I didn't even think about that. I thought the third one was the last one. Okay, let's move into our favorite picks of E3. Don't look at my screen. I'm gonna get this out of the way.
Screen peeking.
For Chevy. One of my top picks, favorite things from E3 is Death Stranding, of course. Hideo Kojima is back, as they showed at E3, with a cool little walking thing under him.
The light up or whatever.
Yeah, they made a big deal about it. Sony's like, yeah, we got Hideo Kojima. And even, I mean, like I've said before, anything this guy does, I'm going to be stoked for. But I think the trailer was really fucking cool. It felt like Kojima. It didn't feel like Metal Gear Solid, but it felt like a game by him.
Oh yeah.
The music was really cool. The visuals were really neat. I love that we're still getting that very Kojima. What the fuck is going on? But there's like little nuggets of like info there. I don't like Norman Reedus, and I don't even care because I'm so excited for this game. I think under Kojima he'll do fine, even though he's buff in the game, which is weird to me because he's not buff. But yeah, really fucking cool, really exciting, and I can't wait to see anything on this game. What do you guys think?
I liked the trailer. I don't know if... I mean, it's just so surreal looking, but it was very interesting visually, and I don't know what the game is about. I don't know what the game is going to be about.
Me neither.
There's a lot of weird imagery with scars and umbilical cords and things like that, so it's
and
very...
the floating people.
Yeah, the floating people.
That was really neat.
Which is interesting.
There'll just be 5 Norman Reeduses up there.
Right.
Oh, God. I hope not.
All connected to the whales. Umbilical cord style.
But in the people floating kind of remind me of Metal Gear Solid because those games always had like multiple bosses, which I always loved because they all had different characters, stuff like that.
Well, he did say this is going to be an action game.
Yeah,
so.
Which will be neat to see because Metal Gear Solid 4 and 5 are really good action games. They're also really good stealth games.
And he had mentioned that the focus in Metal Gear was stealth. Mm-hmm. He wanted them to be fun action games too, but stealth was the big thing. As for this, he wants to it's an action game. So.
Which would be really neat too because all of his games just have great amount of detail in every regard, and combat is probably going to be awesome.
Oh, especially after how well Metal Gear Solid 5 played.
Yeah,
so.
Really, really fun game. A game where you can truly play however you want, and it's probably going to be different than how someone else played that. What do you think of the game, though?
The trailer?
Yeah.
I mean, easily probably the best trailer of E3, to be honest.
One of them, yeah, definitely.
Fanboys.
No, I'm
actually not.
I'm a fanboy of Kojima and Gran Turismo.
I appreciate Metal Gear, but I played 2 of them. Like, I'm not a fanboy of the guy. I think the reason I like it so much though is because you can tell there's his signature there. The quality is just absolutely outstanding. The mystery is great. The fact that it's a puzzle that people are trying to figure out is also just neat. There's just a lot going on there versus like just showing off your game.
Yeah,
and that's why I think it's probably one of the best trailers there.
What's the amazing thing too is they didn't show the game. They just showed a concept of what we can expect in a teaser, and it's not even in the game's engine. They just made a video, and it's one of my favorite things from E3 because it just shows promise.
Yep.
This game's coming, and like you said, it has his flair, and I just can't wait for whatever it is. I hope it has sci-fi elements though.
You know it will.
Yeah.
His handcuffs were sci-fi.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
For all I know, it was a Burger King commercial.
I hope.
New squid burger.
They already have those. In Japan, McDonald's, they have squid burgers.
Sure. New Burger King.
New Burger King squid, the umbilical burger.
Ew.
Sounds delicious. Chris, what are your top 2 things of E3?
Well, first one is Final Fantasy 15 because I am a fanboy of Final Fantasy. But it's nice to. I've played the demo for so long now that it's nice to see a well-rounded, polished, feeling Final Fantasy game for once.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed 13, but it was very rough.
I'm with you on that.
I mean, it's fun, it's visually stunning, but it's just rough gameplay.
Yeah, I couldn't play it. It looked great, though.
An overly convoluted storyline.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Worse than they usually are. So.
But I'm just excited from all the video clips I've seen so far. I didn't actually catch the E3 preview of it, but I can piece together from all the clips that I've seen here and there that it looks amazing.
Yeah.
I was worried because I'm really like old school about like turn-based with the time gauge, ATB, but this doesn't worry me at all.
Yeah.
In the least. Not after playing
especially after playing it, yeah. Similar to the Zelda thing, I kind of like fell out of Final Fantasy because they became over convoluted and kind of felt like empty shells of like what Final Fantasy should look like, but had like no soul. And that's the biggest thing that I'm even hesitant about this game is I hope the storyline's awesome. I'd love to see a cinematic trailer come out and kind of give some idea of what the story is going to be like without revealing anything. But I am with you. I'm excited for this game, which is fucking weird, and I probably will pick it up because I've played it too, and I enjoyed it. I thought the gameplay was fun. I think the game looks great. Hopefully a lot of the stuff that was kind of buggy in the demo will not be there. But
and then I read today they're boasting over 100 hours gameplay. So.
Yeah, which is great to hear. That's a lot of content. So.
It is.
That's exciting.
Chevy.
I'm literally in the same boat. I mean, I love Final Fantasy games. Even the bad ones I enjoy. Obviously not to the same extent. I just appreciate aspects of them.
Yeah.
Between this, playing well in the demos and then all the just like the really cool stuff they're showing off. I mean, the only thing they really have to make sure they get down, as you've brought up as a worry before, story.
Yeah. I just want them to nail the fucking story because Final Fantasy VII is great, obviously, because the way it looks and the characters, but the story's good.
Yeah.
Like that, you're enveloped in it, you're invested in it, and when people die, you care, and that's what matters. I mean, people really like the storyline of 10 too. Yep. Not 10-2, but of 10.
No, 10 has a great storyline.
Yeah.
And even though I personally am not a huge fan of 10, mostly because of characters and visual aesthetic of the game, it's hard for me to get into it. I do think the storyline's really cool. I think it's really interesting.
Waka.
Yeah, it's just just too much.
You have to have some happy with that dark story. So
it's fun. Just that game came out on the PS2, and they're like, check out the graphics, and they like went crazy with the colors. I'm just like, what the fuck am I looking at? But yeah, definitely excited for that too.
Yes.
Yep. Chevy.
Of course, it's not working for me now. One of my top games was Nier Automata.
Okay.
I knew this game was being made. I saw visuals on it, but I never got to see any gameplay, and it was completely off my radar. And then watching the gameplay, a little bit of action game, a little bit of bullet hell, role-playing aspects, really cool fantasy, sci-fi setting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty excited for this game, to be honest. It looks cool. If it plays as well as they showed off, obviously in a trailer, I think this could be just a game that's really easy to just kind of sink some time into and just have a blast with.
And can I say one thing real quick about this year's E3? There was a shitload of JRPGs.
Yeah.
It was weird.
It was refreshing.
Because we were watching those 89 trailers, getting ready for the Tasty Cast. Make sure to check that out. And we're going through and whatever, and we got to the Square Enix stuff, and like I'm just like sitting there watching. I'm like, and then the Nier thing came. I'm like watching. I'm like, what is this game? Because like it didn't seem. It seems like a cool game. It doesn't seem like just another JRPG with a bunch of happy, colorful characters, getting super dramatic and stuff. I don't know. It looks cool. I'm with you on that.
That's the one with the two little kids with the floaty swords, right?
And the masks.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm kind of on the fence, actually.
You hate it.
I hate it.
I've never played it. I hate it.
I don't know if it. From the looks of it, it feels very like strong indie game, and I've tried indie games before, and they're kind of hit and miss for me. Mostly a miss for me.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Just something about like mechanics in indie games really bug me. It seems like they tend to have a little less lacking in mechanics. They tend to be a little clunkier to me.
Less polished for sure.
Yeah. And that really bothers me when I can't control my character very well. It looks interesting, although, like you guys were saying before, unlike 10, it is very subdued in color. It's not bright and out there. It's very much more of a natural, earthy tones, darker, but it still looks really neat.
Yeah.
It's about best
So
I can do.
something to keep your eye on, potentially.
Yeah, I'll keep my eye on it, but I won't hold my hopes up.
Fair enough. So my second pick for favorite thing from E3 is a game I had no idea was coming out called Days Gone. It is a Sony exclusive game being made by Sony, one of their studios. And it is a third-person zombie game. Now, normally I'd be like, we have enough of those already. But I don't know. I saw the intro to it. They had like a cinematic trailer to it.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it looks alright, whatever. But then I saw gameplay. I was like, holy shit, this is like some next level stuff.
Yeah.
The game is just this dude running from an ocean of fucking zombies, just unloading into them, using his environment to slow him down. Literally, that's what he's doing. Anytime he shuts a door or anything like that, it doesn't last very long. And I'm really excited for this game. I also am a little hesitant to be too crazy about it because it could be a gimmick, but I'd like to see how they go about it. But the biggest thing about it is it just looks like a quality-ass game with a lot of polish, and I think it's going to do really well. What did you guys think about it?
I thought the trailer was absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Like, you don't see that.
Yeah.
The one thing I want to emphasize on, besides like obviously the density of the zombies, was pathing.
Yeah.
They would take any available path. They wouldn't just like file up in a line and only go one direction. Like most of them would. But then you'd see a couple, oh, I'm going to go around this way, or oh, I'm going to go over the building instead of through it. Like,
well, and it's almost like, with the amount of zombies, it's almost like fucking water's coming after you. Just like this wave.
Yeah.
But it goes on all these like paths of least resistance, because like you were saying, it wasn't like a single file line a la like Left 4 Dead of just a bunch of dudes coming in one direction or out of a bunch of different doors, but like you go through this way, and as you're running you look to the right and more of them are flanking on that side, so you got to stay on your toes, and it's really impressive. the AI and the pathing, like you were saying.
I mean, other than that, I mean, I was completely impressed and surprised by it.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that.
I was going to use this as one of my surprises, but at the same time, it is one of my favorites from E3, so I saved it for that. Thoughts?
I was completely shocked by it. It reminds me of World War Z. So it's like World War Z put into a video game, but really well done. Like not some sort of cheesy movie video game.
Definitely.
It's almost like nerve-wracking watching the gameplay because you're like, okay, go around this corner, go up here. No, don't go that way. There's too many people coming up over this way. At one point, he goes upstairs and closes the door, and then you see on the roof just zombies like filing through the sides, going over the roof that they don't even care about the door. They're going over and around, and like you said, it's just like water pouring towards you. There's no getting away from it. It looks fun, but it also looks very, very nerve-wracking.
Which I'm excited for because I love games that keep me on my toes, make me think of different things to do in a split second, and just the mayhem of it. I mean, even when he gets onto that bridge, obviously the whole playthrough for E3 was planned. The guy went and showed off all these things,
Staged.
and then the music escalates to the point where he gets on the bridge, just to kind of show the amount of bullets he's just throwing into a crowd, and then finally the last one's drop, and it's over for a second, then shows on the roof more coming,
But on the ground and on the thing next to him.
Yep.
I mean, I'm just really curious about how they're going to design this game because obviously the thing they're really pushing is look at the amount of different animations and zombies we have going at once.
And environmental.
So it's going to be really hard to kind of nail a game where you're like indoors a lot. I feel like you're going to be running a lot like out in the woods and out in like suburban areas and cities and stuff like that. So I'm really excited for it. I can't wait to see more on it for sure.
I was really shocked about how well the environment actually plays into the gameplay.
Yeah.
Like, there's a part where he crosses just this rickety little bridge, not like anything big, just like a bridge over a creek. And as he's running across it, he does fine, but as soon as the horde hits it, the bridge collapses under their weight. And you're like, oh, I made it. No, they just crawl on top of each other.
Yeah. Yep. No, without those environmental things in the game, I feel like the game would just be
flat.
A really cool like tech demo.
Yeah.
Of just like, look at all these zombies, unload on them. But that there is all these environmental things, and they showed a lot of things you can do. It makes the game more interesting. It's almost like a fast-paced puzzle game.
Yeah.
Like, figure it out, fucking, you're gonna die. Which is awesome. I want to feel that. I want to feel that
adrenaline.
I just want to feel what it's like to fucking make a decision or die. That's morbid of me.
We can solve that real quick.
I'm gonna have to be on my toes to fucking not die. Chevy.
I'm actually going to pick an Xbox One game.
Holy shit.
I'm going to go with Sea of Thieves.
Oh yeah.
I didn't expect this game. I didn't expect Rare to be making anything ever again,
except for like Kinect games.
And even though this game doesn't look like necessarily has any depth to it, it just looks like a completely fun game. Essentially, if you don't know, you get to have a crew of your friends, have a pirate ship, go from island to island, live the life of a pirate, treasure, booze, looting, all that stuff. But you'll run into other people in their crews as well. And the ship takes real damage. You have to go down. You have to patch the hole so you don't sink. I mean, it's just the whole experience of it. You essentially just get to live the life. It just looks awesome.
Well, I think the physics were really interesting too, because there's holes that are punched into the boat, and you have to repair them. But actually start filling up the boat, and then we saw in the trailer it capsize.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just like an animation of capsizing. It was like actually filling up and leaning over, and then it like went upside down. And that was really neat to see because I love physics in games. But above all, this game looking really fun. If this was coming out on PC or whatever, like that looks like a really cool like indie game or something like that, or whoever would be making it. But it's coming out on the Xbox One exclusively is exciting because now there's a fucking game that I can't get anywhere else on the Xbox One, and I want it. Like it's a really exciting thing. So I'm with you. Like it's really cool looking.
Yeah, it was a toss-up between that and Scalebound for me. So, which is also an Xbox One game.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
Thoughts on that game? Did you see it at all?
I did see it. It looks really fun and interesting, but I worry about, like, as a person who likes to play solo games a lot, how that would pan out. Would you not be able to play solo? Would it be like a lobby system game where you have to just join a random group and have them all shouting at each other like, you do this, no, you do this?
I don't think you can. operate the ship.
Right, that's when you
crew,
have to join
so.
a lobby, or would AI do it for
Well,
you? You could control, like, give commands like hoist anchor, lift sails.
maybe. I was reading a thing talking about MMOs coming out soon, and it was on that list, and they said that when they played it, it felt like it's going to be similar to Destiny in, like, the faux MMO feel. So I feel like you would be able to play, but maybe you would, like, maybe there's, like, smaller ships or something like that, but I think you would be able to play by yourself. I feel like this game's absolutely meant for groups.
Right. It looks really interesting, but I don't know. I'm not big on mass co-ops too much. Yeah. Well, not ones that require that fine of, like, that really has a lot of fine tuning. Like, you'd really have to coordinate your efforts.
You have to rely on people to enjoy the game pretty much.
Yeah. Sure, but you pick a person's strengths and you give them a job. Like, that's kind of the beauty of it. Like,
I don't want to be the healer anymore.
Don't. Be the guy who sits up top and says,
you're always healer.
There's a ship over there.
Yeah.
The ship blows!
Yes. I mean, like, I would probably be more prone to be down, repairing holes and stuff like that. That'd be, like...
Not me.
And it's where Seth
I'm stabbing people and driving.
Seth's going to be driving, and then he's going to be like, shoot that fucker.
Yep. That sounds like me. Shoot that fucker on the right side.
I call cabin boy.
I mean, my only worry about this, because obviously they didn't show, like, any, like, actual, like, game elements other than ship combat, is longevity.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of, too, is how long is it going to be fun for? Do they have any plans to keep you playing it? Is it just, like, a fun multiplayer game to play against people real quick and just kind of, have fun, but then, you're not going to pick it up later? I hope they add some stuff to keep you playing it, because if they did... Like, if they have loot or, like, skills of some kind, I'm not looking for, like, a deep MMO, but, like, anything of progression, I think would really benefit the game.
Would just be even nice,
exactly.
like, make currency matter. So, like, you have to buy the stuff, buy the cannonballs, you have to buy the black powder, you have to have the boards on your ship to do the repairs.
Well, that kind of sucks, though, because what if you're, like, your team's just real...
Podunk.
Your whole machine's just, like, real well-oiled, everybody's got a bunch of money, you're just cruising around in fucking Mercedes-Benz of ships, and then you come upon these guys who are just casual players, and they're just, like, fucking... Spit showing shoot for nickel governor. Like, they don't got fucking...
Yeah, but what if
they got no money, so they got one cannonball.
Sure, and they just board your ship and kill you all.
How do they decide when to shoot that cannonball and if it's going to miss or not? Because then they're fucked. They don't get to experience. They don't get that fun.
Well, I'm not saying it has to be that way, but like maybe special abilities like the cannonballs that have like a chain between them type of thing.
Yeah.
And,
well, like he was saying, upgrade so you can patch holes faster. Then you are building towards a job essentially.
Yeah. It'd be very Payday-esque.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think would be great because Payday's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Or like if you are, when you steer ships, there's like a 5% quicker turning mechanic on any ship or something like that. So, I mean, like that'd be really neat. I doubt they're going to do that because it's rare, and like I'm not too ready to be fucking excited about rare yet because they've been doing so much stupid shit.
The game does look fun.
But it's promising for sure.
Yeah.
Looks cool.
So.
What's your last favorite game of E3?
My last favorite game is Neo.
Oh shit! Okay.
And I really look forward to it because I most recently got, since Dark Souls 3, into the Souls games, and I'm a big weeb.
And you need more.
So I really like that Japanese.
Weeb.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I admit it. But it looks really cool. It looks very much like Onimusha game mixed with a Dark Souls game. I was a little disappointed there wasn't a wider variety of weapons shown, because that's what I was really hoping for, because I am a loot whore, and I really like customizing and being... I like being unique compared to everybody else. Like, everybody's like, oh, this sword's the best. Well, I'm going to take this spear because it looks cool and because everybody else has the sword.
Yeah. This is a game I'm also stoked for. I played the demo. I barely heard about the game. Played it. Really liked it. I didn't see what they showed off at E3, but I've already decided I'm going to buy it anyway, so I'm with you.
You did see. I showed you that video.
Neo?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The giant boss, right?
It showed bosses. No, okay. I'm going to take a step back. Okay, so the bosses it showed, which was really neat, that got me excited. I also liked a lot of the magic stuff that they showed off. I thought they showed more weapons.
A rifle.
There's a rifle. And he had more weapons on his back.
There's promise then, if there's rifles. Because I'm going to shoot the fuck out of people.
It's just a flintlock. It's going to be like...
Yeah. But at least it's another weapon. There's another weapon in the game. Anyway, And then there's like some weird little animal things that he was summoning, stuff like that, which I remember seeing in the demo. So yeah, this did make me more excited for a game I already was going to buy.
I think it looks cool. And just same problem I have with Dark Souls. I love the idea. I love the style. I'm not going to be able to play it. So.
You don't think you'd be able to play this one? Just because it's more like a samurai game.
I still
kinda.
I get too inside my own head about it. So
it's fair enough. Did the trailer do anything for you though?
It looks really cool. I mean, very similar to what Kris said. I'm very into the Japanese stuff as well. So
yeah.
So yeah, I definitely want to see this game. That's for sure.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Good pick. I didn't even think of that one. But like I said, I'm already just like I'm gonna buy it, so I'm not gonna think about it. Let's get into honorable mentions. Do you guys have any?
Well, I brought up Scalebound already.
Okay. Well,
that was one for me.
I'm just gonna shotgun through mine real fast.
Yeah.
There's a fucking Berserk game coming out. That's amazing. It's being made by the guys who do Dynasty Warriors, which just fits perfectly with Guts fucking just swinging his big sword. Can't wait for that. I don't care what it is. As soon as the trailer came up, for some reason they showed the gameplay like 4 days after E3 ended.
Yeah, it was weird.
But the trailer they showed at E3 was just like a teaser. It showed nothing. But it just said it just showed some stuff. It showed the mark. I was like, is this a Berserk game?
Yeah.
And then it fucking said Berserk. I'm like, I'm buying that. I don't know what the fuck's coming out. I'm gonna buy it. So that the advanced consoles, and what I mean by that is the PS4K and the Project Scorpio both being confirmed, being shown off. I'm really interested in seeing where this goes and how it's handled. Detroit, the Detroit game. What the fuck is it called?
Detroit Become Human.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's got a weird name.
Yeah.
No, that was a big surprise.
That game looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Really excited for that. The only reason I'm not too crazy about it is because I played most of their games and oh god, Heavy Rain was cool playthrough, but there's nothing to do really afterwards. I didn't want to play it again. So I'm hoping because they showed off so many different outcomes to one scenario that they're just upping the ante and making it really crazy on the decisions. I also love the setting of a futuristic Detroit with AIs and stuff. Scalebound, which looks awesome, looks like Monster Hunter meets
Lost
Planet,
Phantasy Star. Yeah, I mean,
also an Xbox One exclusive, so that's awesome. And then finally, my honorable mention is Xbox actually offering games this year. that was awesome.
Yeah, no, they had a good show. I was very happy to see that. So
I mean, Sony definitely won, but Xbox didn't just lay down this time.
No, they had a lot to offer. It's great.
Yeah.
I brought it up I think during the podcast. I'm interested in getting one finally.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
After years and years of the thing being out, now's the time of Xbox, and then they're gonna release a new one right after.
Surprise.
Honorable mentions.
Good.
I only have one. I mean, everything else you've said before, but We Happy Few looks really interesting to me.
Yeah.
It's very much like... It reminds me of 1984, George Orwell-esque. It looks like he's erasing parts of history from records and take your happy pill and doesn't take it. And I don't know. It looks really interesting story-wise, and I like the graphics of it.
Also,
me too.
Xbox One game.
Son of a bitch!
Yeah. But one thing about... I think that's probably one of the most, if not the most unique game of E3.
Yeah.
There was no games like it, and it was super refreshing, because it's if anything, I don't know much about the game or how it's going to play, but I'm definitely what the fuck is this? I want to know more, and I think it looks fun, too. That's all you have?
That's all I had, other than the ones you already named.
Okay.
So besides Scalebound, I also gameplay Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That game looks way fun now.
That game looks awesome. There's another game, though, I'm just I already want it.
Yeah.
And then I watched that, I'm like, this game looks awesome.
I mean, that looks cool. More of the RPG stuff. I already was pretty set on buying some of these, but I am Setsuna. I want to play. I'm not super excited for it, but I am very much ready to support JRPGs coming back. So I'm keeping such a close eye on that. I know as of releasing this, Star Ocean will be out. I'm hoping it gets really good reviews.
Really? It's coming out that soon?
On the 28th.
Oh, wow.
What else was there? Final Fantasy 12 HD remaster. I'm buying that.
I hated that game.
It's got some quality of life improvements, I guess. So.
Did they get rid of the gambit system?
Oh no.
Then there's not enough quality improvement.
Kingdom Hearts 2.8. You know, it just mostly a lot of the stuff Square shut off RPG wise.
Another honorable mention: the return of JRPGs.
Yeah.
That's exciting. Even if I'm not into them, that's awesome.
Now they just need to do well so that they don't go back away.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
That's really it.
It's weird. It's almost like we're just now in the recovery of 2008, 2016. Almost took 10 years.
Other than that, anything VR they showed off.
VR, everything VR. Honorable mention, everything VR. VR. Give me it. Coming soon. I'm getting it. But I think it's going to do it for this episode of Loot Chest on Taste of Gaming. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, Taste of Gaming. Check us out on Twitch, Sleep Division. And yeah, thanks for watching. As always, my name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Kris.
And have a good weekend, guys. Take it easy.